Hi, my name is Jan Minosky-Smith. I'm an online tutor, and in this video, I just want to share some tips and tricks for how to navigate to all the different parts of your lesson when you are working with a student online, and also to share a tip about how to resize the tile board in Whizzimo when you have a lot of tiles. So my very first tip is before you open up your Zoom and start that conference meeting and invite your student, open everything that you think you will use with your student during the lesson. Not to also remember to close anything you will not use with the student, because there's no point having something open if you won't be using it. So in this case, I have my Whizzimo account open because we will be using the tiles and activities in Whizzimo. I also, if you look up here, I have two other browser tabs open. So at some point, if I want to go to Quizlet and work on some flashcards that I've created, I can do that. When I'm ready, I have an activity that I've made in Google Slides, and I just open that by clicking on the browser tab. I also have a lot of other games. This is just a slideshow, but each slide is actually a game that can be played with students. I have more about that in the resources underneath the video if you want to learn more about that. Finally, besides anything that you might use that you would have open on your browser, you might have things in a program that you would use, such as PDFs, activity sheets that you've made or that you've bought on Teacher Pay Teacher or gotten elsewhere. So I happen to keep mine in OneNote, but you could have yours in any program that you wish. And this is an activity sheet that I opened in advance of the lesson, and it's all ready to go. So the student would just take the drawing tool and start doing the activity when I share control. Anything that you have on your computer, whatever program it might be, or whatever browser website you might go to, you can share that through Zoom, and you can share control, and your student can work on it. It doesn't have to always go through one thing like Whizzimo or OneNote. Whatever you use that you find works for you is helpful. And I do have more information on how to upload your own files into OneNote so that you can use them during the lesson in the links below as well. There's a video that tells a lot more about this. Okay, so my final tip, going back, and you can see I can just navigate right to what I need. Some people want to know, how can you make this tile board so that you can see more of the tiles when there are a lot of tiles on it? So with this board that I have open here, there are a lot of tiles. So my number one tip would be to go up to the corner of your Chrome browser where the three little dots are and click once, and then go down to the level of Zoom on the page, and I'm lowering it quite a bit. It was 90%. Now just to show you, it's all the way down to 67%, so you can resize it that way. You can show more of it if you click on this resizing tool. Then a little screen comes up and you can pull it down, and you can really show a lot. But you want to make sure that you leave some work area down here if you need that work area space. You can also move up and down or sideways to see any of the tiles that aren't showing when you resize it. But then when you do what I've just demonstrated, you'll have a lot less movement that you need to do. So that's a tip for resizing the tile board. Those are some things you can do that will make it easier for you and your student to work when you get a lot more tiles on your tile board. So I hope you find these tips helpful today. And don't forget to check out the resource links underneath.